So of course, we're talking about the Android Wear. It's a new platform. There's two basic UI paradigms. There's demand and there's suggest. Suggest is the default one. It's the one that they're really pushing for. That's the whole idea behind the watch, that stuff comes to you at the right moment. Say you're, I don't know, getting up in the morning, you might see the weather right there. Or if you have an appointment, it'll show up on your watch. So that's the suggest. There's a vertical list of cards. It's kind of like the Google Now. Does anyone here use Google Now? I would guess most people that have Androids have probably used it. So it's very similar to that. It shows these kind of cards. And it also includes the background picture, which we'll see in a bit in a demo. You can swipe cards away to get rid of them. And also, if you swipe the other way, there's actions that cards have that you can take. For example, if you got a Hangout, there might be a reply action, or there might be some preset messages that you can just send out really quickly. And here's the demand. So, as good as Google is, they're not mind readers. You know, there's some things that you just need to tell it to do. That's where the demand paradigm comes in. And what you do with that is you hit the G, and then you can do stuff like take a note or remind me to check, something. Remind me to pick up milk at the next time I'm at a grocery store. And the next version, the current version, it's still, I guess, just hit production today. The next version will let your app send commands to this. So if you have something like a Nest app or a connected home app, you can potentially hit a button on your watch and have the watch control the app and then the things behind it. And this is the design. As you can see, it's very simple. It's very clean. The idea is for it to be glanceable. So at a glance, you should be able to see what's going on. You know the time, you have the temperature, and it even has the cloud icon, so you know how it is. Right, so Android Wear does not equal phones or tablets, and that'll be explained in a couple of slides. Right, so we want to be contextually aware, smart, timely, relevant, specific. We want to make the user have as little interaction with it as possible. The whole idea is to present information to the user, but I think the way they described it is to be more connected to the virtual world while still being present and engaged in the real world. Because what we do nowadays, we tend to be on our phones all the time. A device like the Wear can minimize that. And these are kind of the same things. I mentioned that the zero or low interaction. This is someone that got like a text message or some kind of message. It knows you and your preferences. That's kind of what we talked about with the suggest interface. Right, so it's your smart connection to the world. So this is the old, you had a GPS, Google Now, it's today, Siri, Cortana, and then the Wear. So this is an example of a Hangouts message. This person just got, save me a spot at the table. You didn't have to pull out your phone when it buzzed or made a noise. You can just glance at it on your wrist. You could, if you look over on the bottom, there's two dots. That means there's 2 pages for that notification. That means it's swipeable, and you can take some action with it. Or it might be more to the message. This is just discussing the the level of importance of notifications. So incoming calls are first, turn-by-turn directions, emergencies, emails, software updates, etc., etc. So here's an important distinction or important piece of information. The idea that these 2 notifications don't mean this, because that would be a bad UI design. If you think about it, right? You have a watch on your wrist, that's what, a couple inches.
That's it.
You have a watch on your wrist that's a couple inches.
It's just a bad.
It would be bad for them to just keep stacking these notifications, right? There's only so much screen real estate and possibility to interact with it.
It's just a bad audio connection. If you just pull it if you're not doing video right now.
Okay, yeah, you can pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, was that bothering you guys? At least no one left, right? So that plus that actually equals that, where now it shows the latest message. If you look at the timestamp, it's 12:11, 12:14, 12:14, but it's showing you how many other notifications there are. Here's the reply I mentioned. So if you get a text message or a Hangouts message, you can swipe to the right, and if the app allows for it, you can reply. And what's cool about the reply, well, one of the cool things about the reply, you can reply with voice if your app allows for it, or without any coding actually. So Hangouts currently, if you fire up, if you get the Android Wear developer preview, you get the app, you get all that set up, and someone sends you a Hangout message, to my knowledge, Hangouts hasn't been modified at all to support the Wear yet. But by default, without any coding, all current apps that send notification messages to the Android, the notification shade, they'll by default get sent to the Wear. And it supports the rich kind of things that the notifications now allow for. Yes. Yeah, not on the Wear, because again, that would be bad design to try to swipe or tap on the screen. It doesn't. There's just not that much space there. You can reply by preset messages. So if it was just something like, do you want to do lunch later? Or do you want to grab a beer? There's the option for your app to say yes, no, maybe, and just hit a button and it gets sent automatically without you having to pull out your phone. But you can't type a whole email here. That's not really what it's meant for. Sorry, I had another question up there.
Do you have examples of, is it like the glasses, is it the watch, what is?
It's a watch.
That's the watch?
Android Wear is a platform for smartwatches, yes.
Okay, it's not the glasses.
It's not the glasses, no. And as you can see, for more context, they actually send images, and those big images will be displayed behind the message. And that ties back into the idea of the watch being glanceable and immediately actionable, or you can swipe stuff away. You can see instantly who it was, who it is, their name obviously if you're not sure about the picture, and then the message itself. And your app icon also shows up there. And again, this is automatic, without any coding. If your application has an icon set, it'll show up here. Here's some of the, this is an example of a notification with some pages. So, this is the first notification. It's the basic glanceable information. I have a meeting in 10 minutes or whatever it is. Once you swipe it over, it provides some more information. Pick up some wine and bread or whatever. And then the next one is an action. You can just navigate right to the appointment. Yes?
What if the message was longer? Because in the program we saw this morning, they have all short messages as well. Are you limited to the amount of text that will fit on that little board, or does it scroll?
I believe it'll scroll to the right for a certain amount of time. But after a certain point, I think they limit you to 3 or so, where they say 3 is really the maximum you should send. After that, they recommend having the user, I guess, click on it and then open up the app on the phone for the actual full message. Right.
So your thought is that does scroll or doesn't?
That's actually a scroll right there, yeah. And pages, what you can do is if you do have a longer message, it'll truncate it and you can scroll through, yes.
Can I follow up on that?
Sure.
So is there any technical reason
or is it all like ergonomics and usage and personality? Why, because I find it annoying that I only get notifications of the first half of the notification, then I have to go anyway. So are there
Right.
any technical limitations that make it so that I don't get my email? Or was that a design choice for interaction? Because I would like to read the whole long email by
Right.
scrolling.
I believe it's not a technical limitation. I think developers can still do it. It just really highly recommended to not do that because the watch is really not meant to read a long email.
Thank you.
Sure. There's also this concept of cards. So in the last slide, we swiped to the right. The stacks, you can get multiple notifications, like multiple emails or multiple text messages, and then you swipe up and they'll be layered. And these are some of the interaction modes as far as the inputs the user can send and reply to notifications. I mentioned the preset messages, so like yes, no. Voice is really cool. If it works well, then you would never need to pull out your phone for like, at least for the not so complicated things. And this is just comparing the glass that someone mentioned versus the wear. And this is, this was meant for like a more technical demonstration, so we don't need to play the rest of that. And this should be interesting. So I actually wanted to do a couple things as far as a live demo, against my better judgment. The first thing I wanted to do was go to Android Studio. So I have Android. Whoop. So if you were to sign up for the Wear developer preview, or now you can just have access to the SDK. I guess it comes with this project, the wearables notification sample. And I thought it would be cool to actually see some of these things and create some of our own versus just looking at it on a slide. So let's go ahead and do that. I have to do a couple things here. I want to. So there's a couple different emulators. There's the square and the round, because as you guys probably know, they support both types of watches. I happen to like the square one. The round one is kind of weird. It cuts off notifications and stuff, so I'm going to stick with the square.
Can you do Android 4.3 or some of the older versions of Android 4?
I am not sure of the minimum supported version. I think it might be, actually it is. It's 4.3. I attended a preview event and they said you need a 4.3 or higher phone. So yeah, probably not like 4.1 ice cream sandwich, stuff like that. Okay, so we have the Android Wear emulator loading. Also my phone will be up. While that's loading, I wanted to...
How do you get the application into the phone? Is it through the Play or into the wearable, into the watch? Through the phone?
So some of the things that we saw, they were notifications that were sent to the phone and are automatically pushed to the Wear. You can set up your Wear as like a, what do you call it, a notification receiver. So that's how they got there. And then there's also applications that are built specifically for the phone, and I'm not entirely sure how they work.
Excuse me?
Yes.
So for the styling and whatnot for the Android Wear,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it's a lot more constricted, so is it still gonna be done in like XML like normal styling is, or?
Yeah. The applications themselves are very similar to Android applications. In fact, they are Android applications. Well, that's interesting. Gotta scale this down. Sorry, I'm not sure why it's not actually responding to. Well, I guess we only need the top half. So, so this is the Android Wear emulator on the right. And on the left, this is my actual phone. So hopefully I don't get any embarrassing texts or anything.
Hopefully you do.
Well, that'd be better for you guys, right? Add some spice to the presentation. Oh. So what I did there, I guess it does some forwarding of the, it connects the emulator and the phone. Close that, close that. I'm gonna open this back up. And if you guys ever mess with the Wear yourselves or do some development, what you'll notice is that once you do that command, you should see the top right where this is an X. It should actually have a G icon, and that's when you'll know it's connected. Excellent. Oh, cool. That's actually a live notification that was sent to my phone. That's not emulated or anything. Well, it is, but it's not fake or anything. That's actually from my phone right now. And I can show you that right over here. Whoop, not there. Right over here. So unfortunately, because of the screen, we can't. Let me see if I can fix that. That should do it. Can everyone see that? Is that? Oh, is it that middle? All right. Now we're just back at where we started. Let me. Yeah. Cool. Is that pretty visible? Okay, good. Okay, so again, this is the Android Wear. And this is my phone. Hopefully we can see the whole thing now. Yes, we can. Look at that. So this notification right here, the bottom one, the connected to Wemo, is exactly what's showing up on here. Now, obviously, I didn't do any coding. I didn't do anything for that to happen. That was sent automatically. Furthermore, let's see if this works. Aha, okay. So I just swiped up, or replicated a swipe up. It's as if I swiped up on the Android Wear itself. And now if I were to swipe to the right, let's see if that works. Okay. And there's an open action. I didn't do that either. That was automatically there. So if I click on this, it's actually going to do some stuff on my phone. It's going to open the intent on the phone, or it's just going to sit there. There we go. So I hit open on that, which again replicated hitting open on an actual Android Wear device, and it opened up the Wi-Fi selection screen on the phone. And there was no coding involved for that. So if you guys have apps out there that send these kind of notifications, without any modification, you could have your app be compatible with Android Wear today. So let's go back to, where'd it go? Aha. All right, so I am going to load up this app. Again, this is the Wearable Notifications demo app. That takes a couple seconds. While that's loading, can I actually ask everyone for a possible point of help? Does anyone happen to have like a hotspot? Or would I be able to tether my phone to their device? Okay, cool.
Did you get a volunteer or no?
I believe I did, but in case that doesn't work, I got you in mind. Thank you. And I want to run this right on my device, so I'm just going to hit OK. And you guys will be able to follow along with my nifty thing right here. Get rid of that. Oh, it was up. Okay, so this is the Wearable Notifications demo. We can try with a basic example. You just set these few options. There's the basic example, inbox, big picture, big text. For now, I'm just going to choose basic. And let's say I were to include large icon. Hit back. And as you can see, it generated a notification. And that should also, whoop, we lost the emulator screen. That was sent to the Android Wear. So actually, when I signed up for the developer preview, within like 24 hours, they opened access to this app for me on the Google Play Store. So I downloaded it. Oh, that was that. Yeah. So sorry. So going back to what you said. Yeah. So the application itself, it ran on my phone. Yep. From the Android Studio.
Oh, it actually could, you upload it to Play Store and then you can download it to your phone?
We're talking about the wearables notification demo, right?
Yeah.
No, so actually that was right through Android Studio. I just chose my phone as the target instead of choosing an emulator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it actually loaded it.
Correct.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks. I'll reach out to you when I'm ready for that, I guess. So let's get rid of this notification. And there's the other one. So this was through the demo app. The basic example that we just sent is sent here. I'm going to go ahead and swipe that away. Whoop. And now we're back to the home-like screen. Let's load up something else. Let's load up a more complicated demo. Let's do multiple page and throw some actions in there. Want to do reply action with choices. And as you can see, it's already up on the emulator. So it still has that basic example text, but when I swipe up, there's two options on the bottom to swipe to the right. When I do that, it has the second page. So this goes back to the question the gentleman had earlier with like longer format messages. There is some capability for that, but you don't want to, again, like read long emails or that kind of thing on the watch, or that's not the intended use case. And if I swipe one more time, there's now an example reply action. So what happens if we click on that, right? So click on that. And whoop. I'm going to try that again. Click on that. So I guess I got the yes. There was a confirmation, and it was sent. So imagine doing all this right from your watch, right from your wrist, versus pulling out your phone for every kind of notification and interaction. Whoop. I need to turn that back on. And now I'm going to try something else. I am actually going to, I'm logged into my my Google account here. I'm going to send myself a message. If I can get to the typing screen. I think I might have gone the other way. Nope, not quite up yet. I really wanted to show you guys an actual notification sent from, well, me to me, but an actual Hangouts notification. Pat, are you on Google Hangouts? Yeah, can you send me something? Just send me a Hangouts message. Awesome, thank you. Did you send it to me?
Yep.
Okay. Get rid of that. Doesn't seem to be receiving it for, oh, I know exactly why actually. That would do it. It's connected to a Wi-Fi, but it's not a real Wi-Fi network, so it's not going to work. I should get the notification any minute now. Hangouts.
There it is.
Awesome. So this is what Pat just sent me. And for once in the history of anything, a live demo worked. So there's Pat. There's his Hangout message. You can kind of see it. His picture's in the back there. That's their big picture feature. Well, now I'm getting everything. Gonna get rid of that. Almost had it. Sorry. This was a lot easier when I could actually see the screen and interact with it. Yay. All right, so back to Pat's message. So this is was that your message? Sent to Hang? Okay, cool, thank you. Huh?
That was a text message.
Oh, it was not?
No.
Huh, that's strange. Oh, okay, all right. I'm not sure why I did that. It usually has the text. How long was your text?
I think first it was just text. But I was thinking,
Oh, okay, all right. Let me see if swiping to the right does it. Okay, so there's an option to open. I guess we can do that. And again, once I hit open, it's going to open the Hangouts on my phone, which they're all up there. So that's kind of cool, right? But let me try another thing. My friend here has the Wi-Fi hotspot for me. Is that still up? Cool. What's it called? Okay, all right. Hang on one second. Let me connect to that. This you, the XT1030? Yeah. Cool. So strong with a password. Cool. Thank you. Well, let's see if that works. That's not the one. That's actually connected to Pat's network here. Oh, cool. All right. So that should work well enough. So what I have in the back there, plugged into that light against the wall, you guys can't see it, but there's a white Wemo switch. Do you guys know what a Belkin Wemo switch is?
I do.
Awesome. So for the rest of you that might not know, it's a device that plugs into the wall, but it's internet connected. So what I can do is basically go in to my Wemo app. I can control the switch from anywhere on the internet. But let me see if I can do what I actually meant to here with the Wemo. While I'm doing this, do you guys have any questions or? Yeah.
Can you disable like certain notifications?
I'm not entirely sure about disabling. I know there are priority levels associated with notifications, so you might be able to say priorities below this don't go to the watch, or those are less visible. I'm not sure if you can so granularly control which notifications are sent.
Question.
Yeah.
The Android platform, can anybody download that and use it?
Yes.
And does it work on like Windows or Linux platforms?
Windows and Mac, and I believe Linux too. The Android like developer tools, right? Yeah.
Now, say I have a Raspberry Pi or one of these small computing boards. Can I run this Android on one of those boards as a prototype hardware?
So Android would need to support that platform. So I don't know if that's going to work right off the bat. There would need to be like hardware level support, or like it would need to support basically whatever chipset is used in the device.
I think it's a Broadcom SoC with an Android processor.
See, I'm not sure if they would support that because they're targeting like the big actual like development platforms. The Raspberry Pi is cool, but I'm not sure if anyone would actually try to use it to code an Android application. So just for that reason, I don't think it's supported.
It would be like a cheap way to build a watch without having to have custom hardware.
What do you mean?
Well, as a cheap hardware platform to try out code on.
Okay. Let me do this. Oh. Cool. So did you guys all see the light turn on and off back there? I'm going to do it one more time just in case you guys missed it. That's not the fascinating thing by any means, but I wanted to have that interact with the Android Wear, and that's what I was going to show next. So if you notice now, the light's actually on. It's going to turn off in a few seconds because the message was sent to it from the Wemo server. And that just turned off. Great, right? So you're all thinking, I know how to turn a light on. I can just hit the switch. But here's the cool thing, right? What if we were to do this? Say I were to bring up my phone here. I have an app called Tasker. And what that allows you to do is interact with a whole bunch of different kind of things using triggers. So the trigger I want to be in this case, for example, say I were to go home and I want to have the app come up and like control my lights and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is open up Tasker. I'm just going to make a new profile with the location. Just for the sake of example, I'm going to say this is home. Set this to 1 kilometer. Have you guys all used Tasker?
Yeah.
Know what it is? Yeah. I'm going to actually go off this Wi-Fi. What's that?
It's just a location-based switch.
It's location and other triggers as well. So there's location, time, a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're at Montclair State. So what I'm going to do is put a flag down right here and just say this is home, right? Go back. Let's say we name this rule at home. And it was deleted. Sorry. Do that again. Set the flag down. Make this 1 kilometer, go back. I'm just going to call this home. Whoop. And I'm going to associate a new task with that. This is not too important as far as understanding the demo. I'm going to add a couple actions to it. Yeah. So I'm going to make one toggle. Go back here. Hey.
I always have to like end pretty soon.
Okay. How many
You're
minutes?
hitting the limit like pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try this really quick and then. Okay, so what do we have up on the screen? All right, so I made the new tasker task to send a message when I'm in a certain location. And I'm gonna turn tasker on because it's currently disabled. Hit that, now it's active. And did it send? Oh, I'm sorry. So what I actually want to do is I want to send an alert. I'm going to notify and just call this home. Down here, I'm going to add the actions. Let's say the label is this. I'm going to make another one really quick. Just say light off. And the action again is going to be to send an SMS to my IFTTT. Cool. So now that I've defined these two actions, let me just disable Tasker and re-enable it. And once that kicks in, let's see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, the Tasker notification came up on the Android Wear without me doing any coding. Furthermore, when I actually swipe up, if that ever happens. Great. So there's some options there. So if I were to swipe to the right, let's see what options we have. So we have a light on option. We have a light off option. Since the light's currently on, I'm actually going to hit this. And again, imagine that this is your watch on the right. So these are all the things that would show up right on the watch. I didn't do any bit of coding at all. This is just using Tasker. So you can imagine the functionality that's built into the actual SDK. I don't think it actually activated. So while that's happening, take a look at the light over there that's on in the corner by Todd. Todd, quick, unplug it. I'm going to try to click that without. All right, let me try the other one. So so that's some of the things that you can do without any coding, actually. So yeah, any questions? We're kind of short on time, but I think Android Wear provides a really good platform to do some amazing things, to control right from your wrist, interact with things in the real world, as we saw the light, text messages, all kinds of notifications and such. And I think we'll see a lot of Android Wear devices coming out, and it's an exciting time ahead. So with that, if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I think Todd has other plans for this room. Okay, thanks everyone.